Hello, dear students. It has been a while yet, and this is Rainbow class. I'm teacher Fidel, teacher of literature in English and English. So today we bring you a very good lesson called the periods of African literary traditional, periods of African literature. Okay, so as you can see on the title, we are going to see generally African literature, and we go through periods of African literature. But dear student, before we go to those periods, allow me uh, to introduce to you some terms, okay, key terms. And you remember in national exams, they are bringing these terms, okay? Please, you have to be attention, okay? So what is a literary tradition? What is a literary tradition, dear student? What is a literary tradition? So, dear student, a literary tradition refers to some common features, and the features is the same as characteristics. Okay, okay. I refer to some common features or characteristics which define the literature of a group of people at a certain period of time. Dear student, when you asked to define a literary tradition, please make sure you say that are common, okay? Common features or characteristics which define the literature of a group of people at a certain period of time, okay? So then, African literature then, also this is another key term, okay? The key term number 2 is African literature. We come to see a literary tradition. Then we go to see African literature. So dear student, Africa is a good continent with the rich historical background in literature, history, okay, and other different cultural values we have in Africa. And then, what is African literature? Dear student, African literature, this means that, okay, the literature that shows responsiveness to issue of concern to African people. Okay, dear student, this is a literature that shows responsiveness to issues of concern to African people. Or in the other way, you can say that African literature is the literature that is written in the context of African culture, okay, of African cultures, okay. Those values written, okay, by Africans or other people around the world, but writing about African culture, this will called be African literature. And dear student, African literature differ from literature from other continents. The reason why they are saying African literature, does African literature differ from other European literature? So here we say yes, because each continent, every continent in the world has its literature. So, dear student, African literature traditions can generally be divided into 3 periods. African literature is divided into three periods. Okay, you can see 3 periods. Now, let me introduce to you those 3 periods. Periods number one is precolonial. When we say precolonial, we say even it is just before colonial. It means means before. It means before. Okay? Pre-colonial or before colonial. Then the second period is the colonial. Then the last one is the post-colonial. When we say post-colonial, dear student, we mean after colonization. It means we have 3 periods, dear student, in African literature. We have a pre-colonial, we have colonial, and we have post-colonial. Okay? So then, dear student, allow me to go to the first periods of African literature. I mean pre-colonial African literature. What is pre-colonial African literature? What do we understand? What are the characteristics in the pre-colonial African literature? What are the themes, okay, What are the themes that develop